but you guys can choose what you want to do. That would be Kristen. Can you mute? All right.
If I need more paint like this, the nude, what do I need to make more of?
The tan, that's hard color. A brown and add white to lighten it up. Maybe some yellow to get it to where you want it.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, welcome everyone. I'm Ronita. I am A Purposeful Point, and I teach painting online and in person. And today this is what I call centered, and more like looking at the kind of overall circle, and you're being centered, and there's just like a mind and spirit type of centered as well. So you guys, these are the colors that I have. A sand. I use my sand first. I use my actually, I'm gonna use my buttermilk first. This is my buttermilk. Everything's layered, my buttermilk. Then I went down here and kind of gave it a base. Actually, I thought about adding some kind of a drape or something, but that's cool. Just something basically that she's sitting on. And then we'll talk about the shapes so that when we go in to make her body. So you can choose your colors. Like I said, I'm like earth tones today, browns and sands and buttermilk and those colors like that. The brushes. I am going to be using my larger brush to paint my background. Whatever the largest flat brush that you have. Usually in the stores, you can get maybe a half, a 3/4, maybe an inch, sometimes depending on which store you're shopping at. So that's what I'm going to use for my background. I like the larger brush for larger areas. And then I'll go down smaller brushes depending on what section that I'm painting. But like I said, my middle, I'm going to start with my buttermilk color. All of my paints are pretty much deco art. Not that I don't get any commission or anything off, but this is what I like, the deco art fluid paints. It kind of helps the paint move easier on the canvas. So that's what I use. And buttermilk is one of my favorite. One, it covers very well. And two, it comes in a bigger container. I don't know if you use familiar with deco art. They usually come in little smaller 2-ounce containers. They don't go very much bigger. They have a couple, just a handful. The basic colors are bigger. So I really love the buttermilk because of the coverage, and also that it's in a bigger container. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and paint my center with my buttermilk. You decide how big you want that center. And basically, I'm just going to make a big circle in my the center of my painting. I'm going to make a circle, and then I'm going to keep coming out bigger and bigger. I like to wet my brush a little bit so that it'll spreads better on my canvas. We are painting an 11 by 14 canvas board. I'm using paper, but I'm using 11 by 14 paper. And I am using, they call it acrylic paper only because it holds, acrylic is water-based and it just holds the acrylic better. So, but again, you choose what works best for you, whether it be a canvas paper or canvas board, just in whatever size as well. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just making a big circle in the middle. I don't have to, it doesn't have to be most everything we're doing is layering. Just keep in mind that, if you feel like the paint is too thin or you want it to be heavier, you need a second coat, just keep in mind we're going to be layering. So whatever you focus on trying to make that heavier and that more coverage, we're just going to paint on top of it. And so that it won't even matter. It won't even show up. So keep that in mind. I get my big circle. I'm going to move into my tan, my sand color, whatever. Like I said, you could take a burnt, what is this? Like a sienna, a raw sienna, a lighter color brown, and add white to lighten it up, or you can just use a different color. Again, do what works best for you. I'm going to grab my sand color. I'm still using my larger brush because I'm painting a larger area with my, I'm painting my background. See, that's a little bit darker. Probably kind of blend my, and there's no right or wrong way. It doesn't have to be exact or perfect or anything like that, guys. Keep that in mind. I keep doing that. I hope I don't knock my stuff over. Getting a paper towel so when I wet my brush, don't have any excess water. Hey, Jacqueline,
Hi.
you're not painting in the car, are you?
No, I had to pick up the kids from school, so I'll be watching. Oh my gosh.
We are
See it
getting
again?
centered. And my circle is a little bit off, but it's okay. It's it's titled centered, and then my circle is not centered. So we're just pretty much filling up the rest of the canvas all the way around with the sand color. And I am so I have the sand color in my brush. And then with that sand in my brush, I do dip it in my buttermilk color and go around my edges. I'm trying to blend it so it's not so much a big separation between the two colors. And again, it doesn't have to be exact. The key to it all is abstract. All right, so I'm ready to add something at the bottom that she's sitting on. And I'm just going to take my a brown color, add a little bit of black because I want it dark, but I don't want it to be black because her hair is going to be black. So taking my dark brown paint. And then I'll put it right about here. I am adding a little bit of black into my dark brown, and actually added a lot of black. It kind of took over. That's what I always say, guys. The black will take over if you're not careful. So whatever shape you want, and in my example, I pretty much made it a bigger rock. And like I said, I thought about making it a drape instead of a rock. But this time I didn't go very big. So you decide what you want as far as the base, just so something there. So it's not like she's floating in the air, which is cool too if she is. That's cool if she is floating. And of course, while we paint that bottom, we're giving the top portion a chance to dry, which the bonus for me is that because I'm staying all in the same color family, if my background is still not dry, it just blends in, it's okay. So, but that's what we're kind of separating it, hoping for the top to be dry by the time we jump up there, get that rock painted. If you have a blow dryer, you can hit it with the blow dryer as well. Acrylic paint, it does dry fast, so that, you know, if you hit the painting with for about 5 seconds, it'll dry it really fast and you'll be ready for your next step. But like, well, mine's is already dry. I don't have to hit it. And that's the advantage, sometimes a disadvantage of painting on paper. The paint absorbs into the paper, so it dries a little bit faster. All right, so the body is going to be a couple of triangles. All right. So I'm just going to use my paintbrush to kind of draw my triangles or paint my triangles. You're welcome to use a pencil, a pointer brush, whatever. I'm going to use the paint that she's going to be. So when I say triangle, now it's going to be the edges are going to be kind of rounded triangles, but so let's go ahead and in the bottom part, it's going to be a smaller triangle, guys. See? That's going to be her bottom. And I'm going to round it off, but it still gives you an idea of what the shape is supposed to be, right? I'm not going to worry about filling it in just yet. I'm going to add that second triangle. And make sure that you give it the size, give it enough size. It's not a tiny, her bottom's not tiny. Then she has a big upper half. There's my triangle. So now I'm going to do a triangle, a larger triangle. That's going to be her upper body. And mine's is a little bit at an angle, which is cool because I want her shoulders. I didn't want her shoulders to be perfectly teed off. So it's at a little bit of an angle. One of her shoulders is going to come down a little bit lower. So there's my second triangle. Does that make sense, guys? Even if I like bring it to a point there, it doesn't matter because that's going to be painted in. But you can see how I use the two triangles to create the body. So now you can just fill that in. And then the corners of the triangle, just round them off a little bit so it looks like shoulders. And now I'm just filling it in. And then also where the two triangles meet, just kind of round that out a little bit as well. I'm just kind of smoothing the paint out a little bit. Smoothing it out also. Oh, I took that out too far. Oh, well. So it's okay. The paint is still wet. I want to add some shadows in on the body. And again, I have the black on my canvas and I'm just on my tray and I'm just putting just a little bit. There's Amy. I haven't seen her paint with me in a while. Hi, Amy. As you can see, we're already in the thick of
Hello,
things.
sorry I'm late. was catching up on the national news.
Yeah, that'll suck you in. That's why I don't watch it. So I am going to, like I said, I just put just a little drop of the black paint on the corner of my brush. And then I'm also going to dip it in the brown paint because I want to add a shadow in here. And really like right here, the smaller her back, a little bit of shadow. As you can see how that black's really standing out. Have to be careful when you use it. It just kind of took over. Not quite what I wanted. Anyway, you get the gist. I want that shadow right there in the small of her back. And then I kind of want to, she doesn't have arms, but if you look, I put use the black there and there to kind of give it the impression that her arms are there. So you can also do that. I'm going to switch down to a pointer brush to do that. Okay. Now these, I'm not gonna go all the way down and I'm not gonna go all the way up. So basically I'm thinking about where her arm might be. I'm not going all the way to the top. You can see that. And then I'm gonna bring it down almost to where her waist is. Just give it the impression that there's an arm there from the back. And then my hand's a little bit shaky because I'm, I don't know why, because I'm kind of holding it up. So there. Now, when we do her hair, it's going to cover everything. So we don't have to worry about that. And so, there's nothing on her bottom yet. So again, we're layering. I'm going to go and add her hair so that it doesn't, it gives it time for this bottom half to dry, and we can layer another layer of whatever color we decide we want to paint that. So, and you can, whatever color that you want your hair, if you want her to have long hair, short hair, you decide what color you want her hair to be. If you want it to be brown. Also, well, I guess I should have mentioned that before. If you wanted her skin tone to be something different, you choose. Hopefully you guys chose what you wanted on your painting. So now I like big hair, so she's going to have big hair. And I'm going to bring some of that hair down onto the body, so it looks more natural and you don't have a line between that stands out, that you can see exactly where the brown begins and the black begins. I'm going to bring it up some. And my technique that I always talk about is to make a forward C and a backward C. C that way and then go back the other way. And that gives my shapes of my curls. Back and forth C's, guys. Again, some of them. Make sure you bring the hair up high enough. Gosh, there's someone else jumping in. Make sure you make her head big enough to fit her body. Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. Now I want to maybe make her like I talked about a drape over the thing. Now I kind of want to make her a dress that flows over the edge. And then my dilemma is, what color do I want her dress to be? Because I have to make sure that I choose a paint. Because some, we talk about a transparent, I'm saying a translucent paint versus an opaque paint. Some like for me, my buttermilk paint is very opaque. It covers very well. I love it. So of course my dress is not going to be red because my red is translucent, meaning that whatever color's underneath that red is going to shine through, and it'll make the red kind of darker and not the bright red that I'm kind of thinking about. So I have to make sure that I choose a paint color that's opaque and it's going to cover up. The brown will still have a darker layer underneath, but not enough to where it would change the color too much to where it's obvious like a red would do. So I'm thinking about what colors I have that would cover very well. For me, a purple would color very well, but I'm going to grab some blue. I like the blue and the brown together. So I'm coordinating like that. So you can think about complementary colors. Blue and orange complement each other. Red and green complement each other. Yellow and purple. And so for me, the blue, I like the blue with the brown because I said blue and orange complement each other. The brown has, it can fit into the orange family, it has that base. So that's what I like. So now I'm pretty much going to decide to, I'm going with blue. You choose your color. And I like the way the blue covers. And again, I want to kind of make it like her dress is flowing off hanging over the rock. And the blue is a little bit translucent, but because it's dark like the brown, I'm okay with that. And also sometimes if you have a paint color that's a little bit translucent, you can add white. You can add a opaque color, mix it in there, and that helps it to be a little more opaque. So white is a great alternative. I'm kind of getting fancy with it and putting some, like her dress is just kind of flowing. How about that? I mean, you don't have to make it flow. You can do what works for you guys. Just having fun with it. I'm going to bring it all the way down. Yeah, that blue is awfully dark, isn't it? I like that. Gonna put some highlights kind of in my, and I'm just lightening it up, trying to give it a little bit of dimension so that it's not flat for me. So you can see I threw in a little bit of white. Not white, actually, I'm just using the buttermilk that's on my palette already. Those look like waves, so I don't want to do that part. So I did lighten it up a little bit, some areas, so that it gives it some little bit of dimension. Now on my example, I put some straps on there, so that's up to you as well. I guess I'll put some on there, see what I think about them. When I say straps, so that like I'll show you and bring it up to her hair, like she's got her dress straps. All right, I'm excited to see what you guys decided with the dresses or whatever clothing. All right, ladies, that kind of wraps it up. But I'm anxious. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at everybody's paintings, but I'm going to go ahead and end it for the YouTube. The YouTube. How do I sound? I'm going to end. I'm going to finish up with the YouTube. With YouTube, I keep on saying the YouTube. I sound so old. All right, YouTube. Make sure you check out the comments to see a link for any other ones, any other painting sessions that you'd like to join in, and to also check out what's coming up next. There's links in the bio.